Now then, YouTube, I'm Simon, and I am going to get seen off by prostate cancer. I don't know when, but I do know there's no dodging it. So what's that really like? It's chapter 2 of Me versus Cancer. Now, this is a linear story, unlike a lot of things on YouTube. So if you want to catch up, I'd check out chapter 1. But if you'd rather not, the TLDR is that 6 rounds of chemotherapy laid me low, knocked me down, and now I'm in the process of trying to get back up again. I'm laying plans to rehab, recover, gain strength, and get back out on my beloved bike. So this is going to be primarily a story of physical recovery. But with cancer, you can't really ignore the psychological aspects. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about that. First, let's go for a walk. Well, it's a beautiful day in Roundhay Park here in Leeds, and this marks exactly 1 week, almost to the minute, of my last chemo session beginning. So it's been a bit of a rough week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were not great, but it did mark the start of the official Get Back Fit campaign with some gentle walking. The aim is to improve on that frankly disgraceful low point of 3,700 steps. And I'm looking by the end of this week to have increased that by at least 10%. I've managed to get out and walk every single day, some with more rest than others. And today is a gorgeous day, and it's no great trial to get out and walk. So let's see how many steps I managed to accomplish week 1 post-chemo. Now, behind me in the middle distance is the cricket square in Roundhay Park, and I used to go grass track bike racing round there on summer nights, quite a few years ago now. Hard work. Really hard work, but massive fun. My favourite format was the Devil Race. And then farther away in the distance is what's known as Hill 60. Yeah, it's a hill. It's quite steep actually. And that is going to constitute my cardio workout for today. Just for fun, we'll look at my heart rate at the bottom and about halfway up, because I'm not going to make it to the top all in one go. Okay, bottom of Hill 60, my heart rate is 70 beats per minute. Up the steep bits, and my heart rate is 125 beats per minute. That's gone up a lot. Harder work than it should be, but I guess you've got to start somewhere. Okay, back home now, and we are, as promised, going to talk about the psychological aspects of cancer. Now, what living with cancer means is you're probably going to die from it. Not everybody will, but in my case, that is the case. I've also learned that the cancer journey is full of cliches and euphemisms, probably for very good reason. But I'm going to try and cut through some of that. And in my case, the cancer I've got means I am going to die from it. What's that like? How does it make you feel? Well, I'm going to give you my perspective on it, and I'm going to try to stop this turning into some kind of over-emotional, rambling, meaningless mush. So I've decided, rather rationally, I think, to divide this into 2 categories: reasons to be cheerful and reasons to be fearful. But before we get into all that, let's talk about the initial shock of the diagnosis. For me, it didn't come out of a clear blue sky. 5 years before, I'd had and been treated for localised prostate cancer. That flavour is basically curable, and I thought I was cured. But then my blood started misbehaving, more tests, more stress. Deep down, I knew it was back, and I knew it had spread. Cancer cliché alerts, it's never good when it comes back. More scans, more agonising waiting for results. But to me, it was always going to be confirmation of what I knew in my bones, that it was back and that it was bad. And when that news came, yeah, it was still something of a shock. 5% of me clung on to the hope that it was all a false alarm, but 95% of me knew it wasn't. Numb, angry, sad, all of those. Why me? A lot of that. Telling family and friends. Awful. So not a sudden meteoric shock, more of a volcano erupting after lots of bad seismic readings. Then the whole treatment regime kicks in and you move on from the diagnosis crisis. Well, the treatment's mostly done now, so let's get back to those reasons to be cheerful and reasons to be fearful. This is really hard. I'm not going to see my wonderful kids build their lives and become the happy, successful, thriving, fully grown adults I know they'll become. It's a really tough one, that. I really hate the thought of leaving my wife alone. Like many long-married couples, we'd look forward to a long and happy retirement together, looking after each other and doing stuff. Let's hope we get some of that doing stuff, at least. I don't know how long I've got. I know none of us know that really, but I am likely coming to a premature end. Shame. I like life. Reasons to be fearful, lost count. I'm not likely to be a grandparent for very long. That genuinely makes me very, very sad. Reasons to be fearful, one of the worst. The very end. This is the one that gets you at 4 a.m. I just can't linger on this. Reasons to be fearful, final. This is a funny one. Weird. I might go on and on and on for ages, and I put myself and other people through a shed load of misery and worry for almost nothing, in that I'll just shuffle off the mortal coil at a kind of normal age to shuffle off. Reasons to be cheerful, all that stuff. I am not going to use the words bucket list, but all that stuff that you thought you might do but never really got around to it. I think it's much more likely that you will get around to it. I might not, but I've got extra motivation to do that now. Reasons to be cheerful part 2. The UK Parliament looks as though it might be about to pass a right to die bill, which means I can choose when I go. And about time too. Reasons to be cheerful part 3. It looks like I'm not going to spend my final days, the autumn or the winter of my life, rotting away in some care home hoping for the end. It's always been a pathological fear of mine. Ain't gonna happen. I don't know how long I've got. Now that sounds weird, but could be 2 years, could be 5 years, could be 10, could be even more. What that means is that you need to enjoy and appreciate every single day. Especially big, beautiful blue sky days, like this one. Do you know what? It could be a whole lot worse. My cancer is of relatively small volume. It's been hit with an absolute blizzard of treatment. It's responding to that treatment. I don't have to worry about working. I'm retired, so I don't have any of those additional burdens. It could be a whole lot worse. On my better days, I can put this into a box marked, let's not think about this today. Being distracted helps. That's kind of why I'm doing this channel and why I've set myself some fitness goals. So you can box it away. And a final reason to be cheerful. The playlist at my funeral, whenever that might be, gonna be an absolute killer. Right, that's enough of all that. Let's get back to the physical, much easier to deal with. Now then, YouTube, it's the 45th of January. Well, obviously it's not, it's the 31st, but it feels like the 45th. I mean, January is always a slow month, but this year it's had its lead boots on, it's found a vat of treacle, and somebody's put it in slow motion. It has been a long month. I looked update you on the step count mission in a moment, but first of all, some good news. So some green shoots to report, not literal ones, a bit early for that, but metaphorical ones. I went to the optometrist yesterday to get my eyes tested and checked, and these days you've got to always give them your full medical history. So I told the optometrist that I'd had chemotherapy. Obviously, my eyelashes and my eyebrows have suffered as a result of the chemo. And she was staring into my eyes through her machine in the way that they like to do at a rather uncomfortable distance, where their nose is like close to your nose, and it all feels a bit overly intimate for me, really. But anyway, she checked my eyes and stuff, and she said, "Your eyelashes are growing." Not by much. I can see about 1 millimetre of new growth. I was absolutely delighted. Completely thrilled. Goodness me, this made me happy. I mean, it seems a very small thing, and it is a small thing. It's only eyelashes, for goodness sake. But it just seemed to me to show how resilient the human body is and how quickly it recovers. I am bouncing back. Okay, a step count update now. If you were paying attention earlier on in the week, you would have heard me say that I was trying to get my steps up this week. I had a target starting from my step count nadir of 3,700. I wanted to increase that by 10%, which would have taken me up to about 4,000. Well, I am delighted to say that I've got up to 6,000 steps per day for the week. Well done me. Okay, that's pretty much it for this one. I can't believe I've got this far without nagging, pestering or mithering you to like, subscribe or comment, or maybe even do all three. So consider yourself nagged, and please do one or maybe all of those things. I'd be very, very grateful. Now, next time here, we're going to be talking about the horror of hormones, especially if you're a fit, active person like I used to be, but I'm going to get back there. The thing with hormones is they have some pretty devastating side effects, but they are necessary for treating the problem I've got. Anyway, that's all for next time. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you can join me for the next one. Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching YouTube. See you next time.